Hey, so I'm back, and today I've got a couple different topics to cover, and hopefully I get this in enough time. We spent another day in Paris, in Paris. Um, we're staying on the street La Rue de Grenelle at the Novotel, and what we were able to do today is walk from La Rue de Grenelle to the Louvre, Musée du Louvre, which is about a 45-minute walk, and we walked through the city of Paris. So, wow. I spoke to probably about anywhere between 5 to 10 different people in French, starting off with "Excusez-moi, monsieur," "Excusez-moi, mademoiselle," or like for example, when we first started, we didn't really know how to get to the Louvre from La Rue de Grenelle, so we started walking through the city, and we bumped into a guy. He looked like a courier, and I said, "Excusez-moi, monsieur." Um, Où est le musée de Louvre? And he didn't really understand me. Où est le musée de Louvre? He didn't understand me, so I brought out my map. I don't have that here with me. But I brought out my map. It's over there on the desk. And I showed him the map, and he said, "Oh, okay, see, le métro, la train to one stop. I think it was Champ de Gaulle, something like that, and then change combien, whatever, not combien, change at that stop, and then come back down. Anyway, I said to him, no, à pied, à pied. J'ai vu, uh, j'ai vu musée. I'm missing a verb here. I can't remember, but le Louvre à pied. And he said, "Oh my God, à pied. That's a long, like an hour long." And I think he said some numbers in French, and he was speaking to me in French. Now, while I was speaking to him, what was funny is I was listening to him, and I was basically repeating what he was saying. A lady came by us, and she stopped and said, in English, started off with French, bonjour, then said in English, "Do you need me? Do you speak English to me?" And I said, "Non, non, non, je parle français." Right? She said, "Okay, très bien." She kept walking, and I wanted to practice French, but I guess she could hear clearly that I was trying to stretch through as much French as I had. And later on, we bumped into the same lady. She's a more senior lady. I'd say she's in her 60s. And she was just so nice and pleasant. And we stopped her again. I said, "Merci beaucoup" before. Je étudiante française. That's what I told her. And I'm a student in French. And je comprends français un petit peu, and she told me that it's good, and she was telling me in French, and then it came out that she actually studies English, and then we got to talking a little bit, and it turned out that she also spoke Espanol. So I spoke to her in Spanish, I spoke to her in English, and I spoke to her in French, and I told you I had a lot to say in this one, and what I'm trying to give you is kind of like the experience today was so filled with random exposure to the French language and using it, like in real situations. And we had to go to the Louvre, we weren't making that up, and instead of taking the riverway, we went through the city And I like to do that because I wanted to be able to see the city and meet people. Just because, hey, I like meeting people. And we did that, and it was great. And we kept on going. Eventually, we bumped into a lady that needed help taking a clock to her office. And guess what? She spoke 100% French at first, and we saw that she was having trouble getting her clock into this small, tiny car. It was a huge clock, and it turned out that we went up to her and we asked her again in some French. At first I said, "Ça va bien," and then she started saying in French, like basically this doesn't fit. I just can't work. I can't even repeat what you said. But turned out we helped her carry the clock to her office, and I put a video up already of the tail end of the conversation we had when we were asking her the next part of going to the Louvre Museum, because we were in the city and it's not straightforward to get to the Louvre, and she told us eventually that it was like 30 minutes or so, and we were on the right track. From there, even walking farther to Boulevard Invalidé, we got a little sidetracked, didn't know, so I asked some construction workers. I stopped in, "Excusez-moi, monsieur, où est le musée du Louvre?" And I showed them the map. And then again, a lot of très bien, and compte minutes, like 15 minutes. And I said to them like maybe 3 times, "Compte minutes, compte minutes." They said, "Yeah, oui, compte minutes." And that group of people, we only spoke in French. They didn't have any clue. They were like I said, like construction workers or something. They didn't have any clue that I couldn't understand 50%, 60, 70% of what they were saying. But the conversation was only in French. I was listening and repeating to what, kind of, again, affirming what they were saying back. So I had that a lot today. We were out, and once we finally got to the Louvre, it was pretty cool. I spoke to some people there. Actually, I said 5 to 10 people. We spoke to about, and I'm thinking about it, once we got to Saint-Germain-des-Prés, the in-town, we went into different stores and we spoke French, and I was keen on trying to practice a little bit. Again, little things helping us to get where we needed to go. So, what a fun-filled day of doing things we wanted to do. We were able to go do a little shopping. We went to the Louvre, Saint-Germain-des-Prés. We ate French food there, and a French restaurant, like the traditional French foods. And got a chance to practice some French. And I was going to show you one of the techniques that I've used when we first started out today, going on to the city, but I'll put that in the next video because this one is kind of long. But it's a simple technique, and I'll talk about that then. And I also have here, again, I'll mention it in the next video, some corrections. I saw the other videos and I wasn't exactly on point, so I'll mention that in the next video. Alright, talk to you in the next clip.